Continuing now with our lead story, Barack Obama's pastor spewing vicious anti-American comments from the pulpit. Joining us now from Los Angeles, Jasmyne Cannick, a journalist who contributes to NPR. And from Chicago, Hermine Hartman, the publisher of Indigo, a weekly African-American newspaper, and she knows Reverend Wright. Ms. Hartman, we have you on the program before, but now we've all heard and seen Reverend Wright's rhetoric, and what do you think about that?
Well, I think you've taken him out of context. I think all of this news that we have seen in the last few weeks, a lot of it is totally out of context.
How could that be? We didn't edit it. We didn't edit it. I mean, these are his words.
All right. I didn't say they weren't his words. I said it was out of context. Well, you take an hour sermon or an hour, 15-minute sermon, and you pick up a clip of it. That's out of context. The other thing is, you said
no, it's not. It's not. Wait, Miss Hartman. It's not out of context. If you take a paragraph where he says the United States is like Al Qaeda, there's no difference.
You don't show the speech in its entirety. You said he was anti-American. He is not. Here's the point. I don't think white media understands the black church. I think that is probably contextually that is what is out of context here. You have never been in his church. You've taken a 35-year career and you've made him like he's some scandal. He was a Marine. Do you know Jeremiah Wright was in the Marine Corps?
He had his service. But let me ask you a few questions. He said he said in declarative sentences, madam, that the United States and Al Qaeda are the same. Do you believe that?
I am not going to defend or discuss what Jeremiah Wright did or did not say.
Okay,
I think
that's what he said.
That is not for me to do.
But
Mr. Rowley, let me point something out to you. In America, I think you will admit and acknowledge there has been racism, there has been prejudice, there has been segregation. Black Americans have lived under some things that I think white America just doesn't even know about.
Okay, does Barack Obama though want to recognize? Barack Obama wants to be president of all Americans, black and white, and that's the problem here, Ms. Cannick. That's the problem. Barack Obama wants to represent all Americans, and when he has an association, a long association with a man who is definitely an America hater, there is no question, Reverend Wright.
He's not an American hater.
Yes, he is, madam.
He is not. He has accused. That is wrong for you to say.
He has accused the country of murder and other things. That is
America has murdered. Have you heard about lynchings? Have you heard about the Tuskegee experiment?
It's not the totality of the country, madam. Have you heard about freeing billions of people? Have you heard about the Civil War? You know, you can debate this all day long.
It is.
But let Ms. Cannick jump in here. Let Ms. Cannick jump in here. If you want to be president of everybody, and you have an association with a guy like Reverend Wright, and people can make up their own minds, Ms. Hartman, whether he's an American hater or not. I want everybody to make up their own mind.
Okay.
Then, doesn't Barack Obama, Ms. Cannick, owe an explanation to all Americans about why he associates with this pastor? Doesn't he owe that?
I don't think he owes an explanation to anyone. It is my understanding that he just did issue yet another statement condemning Dr. Wright. But I don't understand why it's such a far-fetched idea for people to understand that there are people that feel that way in this country. There are not only black people, there are poor people, there are brown people. Not everyone is reading from the same page in the same book as it relates to America's policies.
There are people who feel...
let me finish.
But there are racists, white racists who feel that Jews should be killed and blacks should be killed. But once you get into the fringe area where you say your country is as bad as Al Qaeda, that you deserve 9/11.
Well, there are people that believe that.
It doesn't matter. There are people that believe in the Third Reich.
But
you can't have a president associating with them.
Dr. Wright had every right to say exactly what he said. That is what he felt.
You don't see that there's anything wrong with associating with...
No, I don't. As a matter of fact, if you probably took a look into other churches around the country, you might hear a similar message. It's just that you have a copy of this one. I'm sure that message has been said in other churches as well.
I'm sure it has, too.
So you have to put all of that together.
So let me get this straight.
There are people that have no problem with it.
Okay, I just want to get this straight so everybody knows.
Mr. Rowley, can I ask you a question?
Yes, you can in a moment, but I just want to get this straight. Neither of you ladies feel that there's anything fundamentally wrong with the message of Reverend Wright.
Not at all.
No.
I'm surprised that you guys are acknowledging the fact that he's a Christian now, because for so long the message was Obama's a Muslim. Obama's under the leadership of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And now all of a sudden,
Ms. Hartman has a question
we're jumping on this.
Let me ask you this. A couple of years ago, you had a lot of Catholic priests who were known to be pedophiles. It was brought out that they were pedophiles. Is that correct?
Yes.
Does that mean all Catholics are pedophiles,
No.
or all Catholic priests are pedophiles?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. Why don't you put this in some kind of context? That is what is wrong here. You can. Yes, you can. Maybe you may not be able to because you are a white man.
Maybe.
And you may not see the world like that.
I like to think of myself as an American. You know, and if a guy says, wait, hold it. Let's shut it down for a minute. Let's shut it down.
Can I invite you to something?
Sure.
Would you go to church with me to Reverend Wright's church?
Man, in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat, I will be there.
Can you go this Sunday?
No, I can't this Sunday because it's Palm Sunday and I don't like that. We'll work it out.
All right.
But let me tell you something, ladies.
Let's work it out, and I just
want you to hear my point of view.
Because you need to see something.
We'll work it out.
I understand.
That'll be great.
We've heard your point of view. You've exploited this to the hilt.
Oh, I've exploited it.
And you have taken. Yes, you have. You've exploited.
Okay, I've reported it. But the difference between you and me, and this is absolutely true, is that I think my country, America, is noble and you don't. And that's fine.
No,
that's fine.
Your country is the same country that brought over African slaves. Your country is the same country.
Your country lynched people.
But you don't want to deal with that. You don't want to deal with that.
You want to shut down some of the bad things and the racist thing that America's done.
I got to go, ladies, but I'll see you in church, Ms. Hartman.
Oh, you got to go. I want you to go to church.
It's going to be great. Directly ahead.
Right,
Did Governor Spitzer.